What's up, everybody? Today we're talking about Frieren Beyond Journey's End Season 2, Episode 1. It's finally here,
I
Derek.
know.
Man, I'm excited that we got a new season. Shorter, but
Yeah, it's only going to be 10 episodes, but
yeah,
that's due to the mangaka's health. I know they're taking an indefinite hiatus to focus on their health, get right, which we all want because this is a story that needs to be given its proper time and its due. So, if they want to drag it out, I understand the anime people, the anime gods want the hype to keep people coming in and checking it out. But if we get it in small snippets up until whenever the mangaka, like if it has to do like a Hunter and then just go on an indefinite hiatus, that's fine too. Give it its. I'd rather it be given its just desserts. But what we're gonna enjoy what we've got here for the next 9 weeks. I know episode 1 just aired on Friday, and it's one of those animes that needs to take time to get going. It needs to build up to get the ball rolling. It was a faster paced first episode. I think a lot more happened than, just because we're used to the characters and the setting. But again, the show is one of those types that it needs to get going first. So obviously a lot didn't happen, but a good amount did happen at the same time to give us like something to talk about.
yeah.
So, obviously, we pick up where they kind of ended. They're leaving Oysters and going on their journey to Enda, to go to the Demon King's realm. And of course, we're just here for the ride. It's about the journey. Some might say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and obviously, we see Frieren in a different light. She gets up for once on time in this episode, and even impressed everybody. But
I loved it when Stark was like, "Did you praise her?" And just like, "Oh yeah, she got head pats."
It was great. I'm like, because it's like very rare that she ever she's always the last one up. It's like midday when she gets up, and everyone's just like, "Come on, we gotta go." But what did you think overall of this episode, Zach?
Like, having read some of the manga that's past, like the class 1 mage and everything, first class mage, I was like, okay, I knew what I was getting into, but it was a good reset because of like how big the first class mage story arc is. And it was like, okay, we're getting 2 kind of one-offs, but we're also getting a lot more character development in these 2 episodes, where they go into the cave where they have magic like crystals that totally block out magic.
So it's literally on Stark to carry the team, literally.
Yeah, and it was just like, okay, that's interesting. And when Frieren is literally dead asleep and like the
dragon
shows up, and he was like, how could you be so asleep? And it's like, I trust you wholeheartedly. And it was like, okay. And then we get the flashback with Himmel and
there's Himmel, Hyder, and then what's the dwarf's name?
Let's see. Eisen. There we go.
Yeah, Eisen. Yeah, where Eisen's just like where they're all running from this creature, and Himmel's carrying Frieren, and Hyder's carrying Eisen, and Hyder's just like, why don't you carry the heavy one? And he's like, because what was it? Because the lighter one, what? I forget.
I don't remember what the joke was, but it was pretty funny.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's just like, why don't you carry the heavy one? Because the lighter one wouldn't suit. Because the lighter one would not stand your smell of booze.
Liquor. Yeah.
So,
but seeing that, and it was just kind of, that's one thing that I like about the show is like the original journey, and then this journey does have a lot of parallels, but they do divert in a lot of different ways. But you see Frieren in that moment remembering that, and then the second half of the episode you see it from Fern's point of view, which I thought was pretty cool.
It is. And you could chalk this up to more of like it's a Stark episode, because a lot of things happen with Stark, like again them having to rely on Stark, the only non-magic user in an anti-magic cave, essentially.
Yeah.
Double back to the cave because those crystals are rare. They're worth a lot of money, which in the beginning of the episode, Fern points out is just like, yeah, we don't have any money. We need to do some jobs to gain money. And Stark is just like, do we have to? And he's like, well, it's kind of important for us to eat, sleep, like just go like get magic stuff. Like it's kind of essential. And then we see, when they get to the town, the second half of the episode where they run into Werble and his crew, and Werble, we find out that Werble was trying to recruit Stark to help in the northern lands because he recognizes he acknowledges Stark's strength, and he's like, dude, we are having trouble in the north. Like you would be great to push back the Demon Lord's forces or whatever forces they're fighting, and really like help the north a lot to like for years to come. And he's just like, I can't, I'm too important. And then he recalls the instance in the cave where he's just like, and he thinks back to that and he's like, no, I'm essential. Like I am like pretty much the backbone of this team. Where again, think about it. If Stark wasn't there, how would Frieren and Fern get? Like they probably wouldn't go into the cave, to be honest with you.
Well, they were forced to. You know what I mean?
I mean, yes, they were forced to. And also, it's just like going back to the cave again. Sorry, it's like, well, why don't we just farm all these crystals? And it's like, can't destroy them. Like they're indestructible. Like that's why this cave is still here.
Yeah, and it's like you can't use magic to harvest them either. So it's just like it's here, but it's worth billions of dollars.
Right. Just it's sort of like the sword and the stone. It's like you can't do anything with it, but it's here. Yeah. But just think like the situations that Fern and Frieren were in that Stark got him out of. If he wasn't there, like what would they do? Like, of course, Frieren's an all-powerful mage, and Fern is just as powerful. And has the potential to even succeed her down the road with proper training. So, but again, when they run into situations like these, who's going to help them? That's why it's important to have balanced party. Now they could probably do with one more team member. Like I hope saying that other drunken priest or that corrupt priest that they ran into in season 1 comes back eventually. But I feel like that one more party member would be essential to them just to give them like a different outcome. But yeah, and Werble understands, like he respects it. He's just like, he's like, he kind of seems like the type, like he's still going to keep trying. Like every time he runs into Stark, he's like, so you changed your mind yet? You ready to come help?
I loved how he was just like, yeah, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to try everything. And then asked Frieren, can I talk to him? And she's like, yeah, but I love the interpersonal dynamics in the second half because we do see Stark and Fern, like he's trying to go catch some fish and he accidentally sees them like bathing and everything.
Oh yeah, and he's like
pervert, which is the first thing out of her mouth, and it's just like he's like defeated.
I know.
And I love even Frieren like picks up on it. She's like, is there's like some awkwardness going on here? And he's literally like, oh, he's like, you're starting to actually pick up on these things. He's like, yeah, there is. But when Werble asked about that, you could tell Fern is like feeling like, oh my God, am I about to lose Stark? Because there is a romance brewing.
Right. And I mean, you could see some of that begin to take shape in the second half of the first season, right? Like, like Fern wouldn't acknowledge it at the beginning, but the more people pointed it out and the more people would bring it up, she's just like, you know what? I kind of do. There is kind of something there. Like, I don't know if I want to. I think Fern is still hesitant because she doesn't. He's like, obviously, she's only not like she was abandoned, like about to, murk herself essentially before Hiker found her, and like Hiker was her father figure, and that's all she's known. And like pretty much like tried to save him because he was fallen ill and trying to learn magic. So she doesn't know how to have this kind of like relationship dynamic. She was never taught how to handle this, so she's trying to figure out on her own. But she's also being like, I kind of want to explore this, but I also kind of like don't know how to proceed. Like I've never done this before, but at the same time, like her acknowledging that is like the biggest part, like especially like for her, like in her growth, because I feel like being able to defend the people she cares about will help her like proceed in her magical development as well. And that's why I think, not because of the relationships, but like her potential is like so untapped. Like you see the high elf mage, like or Frieren's
Yeah.
master's master,
Sierra, something like that.
something like that, and like acknowledge Fern. Like she's like, I wanted, like we see her talk about like in the final act of the first class mage exam. She's like, I want to fail you, but you're too good not to give the first class mage rank. And it's like, with proper training, you could be unstoppable. Like you and I, you could stand next to me if you wanted to, which is huge. So I feel like having this kind of dynamic and like, because we all see it, like it's typical in anime. Emotions fuel your power.
Yeah.
So I feel like having that will add to her power down the road.
Yeah. But the thing that I like in the second half, it flashes back because when they're, bathing or whatever, nothing is shown, thankfully. But like she's cleaning her jewelry, the hairpin that Frieren got her, but also the bracelet
that Stark got her.
And she's like, oh, you really thought about this. And like, it's these treasures that she never had because she talks about it's like, I lost everything during the war. And then we have the flashback of Stark carrying Frieren and Fern, and it's her version of it. And she's looking at the bracelet and everything. And it's like the value of this relationship, it's budding in one way, going into more romantic and everything, but it's just those little moments that like, I know there's different types of animes, there's romance, there's isekai, there's, shonen and all of that. But this one does such a good job of melding so many different like genres. Genres. And just that moment right there it spoke so loud, but it was so quiet at the same time. Like it was just very intentional. And I really love that about this show. And I can't wait for the whole season. I can't wait to hear it in dub, love the dub voice actors and everything. So I'm really, really excited about that, but off to a great start. There's some really cool stuff that is coming up within the story that is going to hopefully we get in this season, some cool fights and everything. But I love the pacing in Frieren just because you might feel like, oh, it's just another little thing here and there. But
it's like, oh, great. They're back to just talking and traveling again. It's like, no, there's more there if you pay attention.
Yeah, there's a lot more there, and there's a reason why Frieren won Anime of the Year, and I can't wait for it. Like, it is a shorter season, but I can't wait for the rest of it. And just having read ahead, it's going to be really cool.
Same. So, like, I can't wait to get get going and hear Mallory Rodick as Frieren and just like have her carefree attitude, just go about it, just in like, oh yeah, this is happening, cool. Like, I want to hear her say like, I trust you completely. It's like, why didn't you wake up? It's like, because I trust you completely. I just can't wait to hear her say that line.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. But everybody, let us know what your thoughts are of the new season of Frieren. What are you hoping to see this season? And make sure to check out all of our other coverage of anime here on the channel. We're talking about JJK, talking about My Hero Academia, Spy Family, Gachiakata, so many things that are going on right now. So make sure to check out all of those things and go support us over on patreon.com/nerdcave. This has been Zach
and Derek.
Have a blessed week. My boy.